Dolan.
Thank you very much, and I very much welcome Minister McConalogue here with us this morning to discuss, I suppose, the Animal Health and Welfare Dogs Bill, and to thank, I suppose, our colleagues here for bringing this forward. You know, I've grown up on a farm and I've grown up around animals and, you know, respecting both large and small. Large animals because, of course, you know, you're in a field with a bull and cattle. You very much understand very quickly that you respect and you're safe. You know, you keep yourselves safe. And farm safety has obviously been such a big thing, and a big thing, Minister, obviously as well within your department, and with Minister Martin Hayden as well with Teagasc. But we have, of course, small dogs. So we've 2 Jack Russells, and I'm so sorry to hear of the loss of pets, because it is like the loss in a family, you know, sometimes, and it can bring a lot of people are distraught, family members are distraught altogether. But for us, we always understood living on a farm that, you know, dogs had to be kept in kennels at night time. Dogs always had to be under control. They had to be fenced in on your own, at your house, within your garden. You know, fencing, of course, is always a big, great topic, isn't it, for farmers anyway? But like, it was just crucial that there was a responsibility. So along with the love of an animal, there is a responsibility. And I think sometimes that's why, you know, we see that people maybe don't understand about that responsibility. That's why sometimes we see that people take a pet and it's not for a lifetime, it's for a short period, and that's not good enough. Anyone who has a pet, anyone who loves animals, anyone who is a farmer has a love of animals and a respect for animals. And, you know, that empathy, that's part of what makes us who we are, both in the farming community and I think as Irish people. There is a real empathy between you know, Irish people and animals, and that is something I think that is unique to our culture and our heritage as well. Like in Ballinasloe, we just had our October Horse Fair, 300 years going, absolutely stunning. We had 18 degrees. Minister, you're going to have to come down and see this very soon, although a bit of a hike, I know, from Donegal down, but it was absolutely incredible. Thousands of people that came to see you know, stunning horses in our fair green, and that festival has gone through generations of my family. You know, and I know, going with my family to see the fair, it was such a, you know, it's such a part, again, of who we are. And again, a farming community in a rural town, but not just that, new communities. There are so many people who are coming to visit to see the fair, to see what it meant. And the fair itself runs over 2 weekends, and this weekend we're going to have our dog show. And that was always a real point of interest, you know, and you'd have all the different breeds, of course, that will come out. But the advent of dog shows across the country, like we have it in Strokestown, in Elphin, in Roscommon, agricultural shows in Mount Bellew, all across like the area, particularly in the West, and I know across the country, you'll see so many people coming along, and not just from farming backgrounds, bringing their pets and showing a lot of love, and so many companies now and businesses like Pet Mania and so on. And even for our very well-heeled shoppers, of course, I know even in Dundrum, I was walking around about a month ago and had a treat. There is a place where you can leave your pet when you go shopping, which knocked me for 6, I must admit. They have everything out there. But of course, not to say that we don't have it in the West as well. But I suppose what I would really like to highlight here is that the importance of dogs being kept in kennels and that responsibility. Minister, I know that you are working with Minister Heather Humphreys, you know, around this, and that you're working with Minister Darragh O'Brien. And I know myself locally, I've worked with the dog wardens in Galway County Council, you know, like the challenges that we have seen around control of dogs, basically, and the difficulties that that's caused. The amount of times that I'm calling, because I live, and where I live is close to the bogs as well, and so many people just go to the bogs, beautiful bogs, and what do? They abandon their pets there. And I'd say 3 or 4 times I've picked up a pet and literally been like, damn it, I have to go to Dublin, what am I going to do? Knock on mum's door and go, Mum, you know, can you mind while we get the dog warden to come out? And then the dog warden will tell me, actually, Aisling, our kennels are full and we don't have space to take in a pet. Can you mind him for a day? Can you mind him for 2 days? Can you mind him for 3 days? Like, how are, you know, what are we supposed to do? And I know, Minister, that you're working hard. I know that you're fighting to get more dog wardens for local authorities. But Madra.ie is a wonderful website. And like, what I would just say, that they're a Galway-based charity, I mean, dog charity as well. And I always love reading their stories. You know, every time they go advertiser, you'll have a story. I think at the moment it's Maisie. I just literally looked it up on the website now. But anyone out there that is looking at bringing in a pet, you know, think about what this means to bring a pet that's been rescued into your home, as opposed to going out, you know, if you have that choice with your family, and it's a possibility, just think about the opportunities and the advantages with that. The other part, I suppose, is around the linking, as you've talked about, Minister, and I suppose if you do get an opportunity to speak today or at our next occasion, will be around maybe the databases, how we're using technology to actually support us around linking those databases, because of course it's the dog licence from the Department of Agriculture, and then it's the local authority that's trying to monitor it through the wardens and so on, and yet they're very difficult to have those links, and that's really what you're doing now. You're building that through, I know, this group, and I suppose it's great to see sort of all of us working together on that as well. Minister, I suppose if you are able to give us an update just around that interdepartmental group, and maybe just what else you see as the objectives coming out of this too. I know that for us to see this working group coming together, that you're looking at enforcement at local authority level, of course the provision of dog wardens, as I've mentioned, microchipping, and promoting responsible dog ownership and licences. I do think there needs to be a little bit more support, probably around the communication around this when it comes to managing dogs and controlling dogs. Like, we do need to see investment in communication around that as well. So, Minister, I know we'll get an opportunity to speak again on this as well. I know there's other colleagues maybe that just would like to come in. I might allow other colleagues to join us as well. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Senator.